The first week of January, we had so much fluctuation in the Schumann resonance and the solar flares, everything messing with our personal electromagnetic fields, and it created a lot of ascension symptoms. So while there are some beautiful new frequencies bombarding the planet, we're still feeling the exhaustion and the nausea and the constant hunger from all of the solar activity and ascension. Welcome to your multidimensional journey. I'm Tracy Canberra, and let's dive into these symptoms, what we can do about it, and how we can get on track to feel these new streams of consciousness, as a client put it to me recently. I think in my YouTube live on January 1st, I mentioned Stefan Burns, who's a geophysicist, and Molly McCord, an intuitive astrologer. I look to astrology and the planets and the Schumann resonance to get some answers for why I'm feeling this or that way. We're human and we want the answer. We want to be able to label something. We like everything in its compartment, everything in its spot. Stefan Burns had a great video the other day that I will link in the show notes or YouTube description that explained the Schumann resonance so clearly and described what went on planetarily for the first week of January. And Molly McCord talks about what the planets are doing astrologically twice a week on YouTube. She gives so much information. That really gives you a clue what's going on. Once they tell you what's going on, come back here and figure out how to rise above it. Because while all of the solar flares affect us, and that's going to continue all year because the sun is working with Gaia, the sun is programming us. We contracted to wake up. So as we ascend, the sun is just doing what we asked and blasting us with all of these solar light codes to prompt our waking up. The sun is our alarm clock. When I channel the Solarian Council, they mention every time, we asked for this. This is our agreement, our soul contracts with them, the consciousness of the sun, to help us wake up out of this 3D game. Our brain is what keeps us in the 3D game, and I will talk about the brain being the gatekeeper and what to do about that in a few minutes. But right now, understand that from New Year's Day, we've been bombarded with solar light codes while the planets are acting up like you wouldn't believe. That's my version of astrology. With the Schumann resonance and the solar flares, electromagnetic frequencies dramatically affect us. People talk about cell phones. Solar flares are much more powerful in altering our personal energy fields. So that's going to happen a lot, and it behooves you to keep an eye on it so that when you are having the ascension symptoms with the exhaustion and the nausea and the confusion and everything else, there's a lot of ascension symptoms going around. When you become aware that these symptoms are due to the solar flares, due to spikes in the Schumann resonance, that they are ascension symptoms. It's not food poisoning. It's not the flu. It's ascension symptoms. When you realize that, you change your tools. Then you honor yourself more. You get more rest. You go lighter on your workouts or you skip workouts. Remember, 10 years from now, are you going to remember that you didn't work out this week? No. So cut yourself some slack. It was a really intense week, so take a week off. Nurture yourself. Accept whatever changes you make in your life that lighten up the ascension symptoms, because we're going to have that off and on all year. And honestly, some of the ascension symptoms are going to get really intense because we're going to get to a point where we start seeing and sensing things. And it's like, am I crazy? Did that happen? Did I just morph out of 3D? Am I even in my world? Like, you start asking yourself some real mind-altering questions. If you trust yourself, then when super weird things happen, just know that it's ascension and you can flow with it. I guarantee you, you're not leaving the planet. You're not losing your physical body. You can find yourself. I call them existential crises, where it's like, who am I? Where am I? I don't remember this being my life. I thought I lived on a starship. You have this blip where you've really merged with one of your higher dimensional selves, and then your awareness comes back into your bedroom if you just woke up, or you come back to this life and you're like, wait, what do you mean I'm human and I live in this house? And you have to remember this is your life. So we're going to have a lot of those blips, more the second half of the year. But you guys listening to me are very ascending, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're having them already. So it's a lot of awareness and acceptance and flowing through it. You have to nurture yourself no matter what the symptom is, and just know that you're having these symptoms due to the fluctuating frequencies, and they will pass. And what tools work best for you. More sleep, more meditation, more lying on Gaia, more out in the sun, more movement or dance, more laughter. What's in your toolkit? And some of these tools will work for ascension symptoms and some won't. Some of the things can really help you integrate all of the solar light codes, and some you're like, that didn't work at all. That's fine. Then use a different tool. So, to sum that part up, the solar flares, the solar storms, the Schumann resonance fluctuations, all of the solar light codes are going to intensify for the rest of the year because the sun is helping us ascend. So, get out your toolkit and see which of your tools relieves your symptoms. No judgment, no criticism. Just try it out. If it doesn't work, try another and cut yourself some slack. This is time for no judgment. It's time for self-nurture. And then when you're feeling good again, that's when you switch into activating your multidimensional mind. So phase 2 of this is your brain is the gatekeeper. Your brain and your ego mind are what keep you in 3D. When the souls are like, okay, we're going down to earth, we're going into third dimension, we're going to have time and space and duality and polarity, it's going to be quite the adventure. So they set up our brains to keep us in the 3D game. Because remember, we are infinite, we are unconditional love, we are divine neutral. How can we murder or be murdered if we remembered who we are? We can't. So our souls incarnate in a body with a brain that keeps us in 3D. That's the brain's job. Everybody says the ego mind protects you, keeps you in the known, keeps you in the comfort zone. Yes. And if the brain stops doing its job, we wake up and it's 3D game over. Well, it's 2025 and it's time to wake up and game over. There's a new game in town, and it's called 5D and beyond, New Earth, and that's where we're headed. It's a state of being. So this is a very intense year of getting the brain to retire. The client I had today had a very retirement-prone brain. She was already ascending so much, her brain knew it's time to just go offline and be multidimensional mind all the time. Like, cool, I'll retire. Usually, the brain and the ego mind are struggling to keep control. No, I'm telling you this isn't possible. No, you tried to do this once 20 years ago and it ended badly. Stay away. Don't burn yourself again. For me, my brain goes offline in client sessions because that's how I trained it. Okay, it's multidimensional mind time. You guys can go take a nap. I got to work. But we are now coming into longer and longer periods of being in our multidimensional mind, being in the cosmic flow. And if we want to feel these new streams of consciousness, another client called them that, she's feeling all of these beautiful new streams of consciousness. And I was like, dang, all I'm feeling like is throwing up. Like, I couldn't feel them. I'm just now on the 8th starting to get a glimpse of them and feeling a little better physically and frankly emotionally. So even though I can see everything and go anywhere, I'm still human. I'm still on the ascension journey with everybody else. So I was feeling overwhelmed by the symptoms and was all but offline outside of client sessions the past week. But now I am feeling these new frequencies. And remember, these frequencies, these streams of consciousness have always existed. They've always been around us, supporting us, flowing through us. But we didn't have the ability to tune into them, to become aware of them, especially to connect with them. So now we're coming online to a degree that we recognize them. That's why they're new streams of consciousness to us. So it brings me to a fabulous exercise. If you want to feel these new streams of consciousness, just like if you want to feel your angels or your dragons or sit with your guides or merge with one of your higher selves, it's all the same exercise. Fake it till you make it. Visualize, daydream, use your imagination and create it. It doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Everything exists in the universe. So if you say my angel is 9 feet tall with 8 foot wide wings and is wearing a long blue dress, then so it is. Then that's your angel. So you create using your imagination. You create the being, you create the situation, no matter what it is. And you are telling your brain, I am facing my angel who's 8 foot tall in a blue dress. And I'm feeling all of the love blast out of my guardian angel's heart into my heart. And all of this is happening. At some point, your brain says, okay, then I'll let it in because you're already feeling it. And as your brain lets it in, you really feel it stronger. If you're listening to the radio in the car and you have the volume down, you can still look at your radio screen and see the name of the song, and the song is still playing, and the DJ is still talking between songs. You don't hear it because you've got the volume down. Everyone in sessions is saying, I want to meet my angel. Can you bring my angel to me so I can meet her? I help you with the connection. I tell you all about your angel and what's going on in all of your guides. But it is up to you to feel those connections. I cannot make you feel. I can take you on a journey where you feel, but what are you going to do tomorrow when I'm not with you? So take yourself on the journey. Create the angel, create the guide, because I guarantee you some version of it does exist. The beautiful part is the more strongly you create it, that you turn up the volume dial and you say, I am feeling this, I am sensing this, I am seeing this, this is happening. The more you do that, the more your brain steps back from being a gatekeeper, lets it in. And that's bilocating. Then your consciousness moves to that reality, that dimension. Your consciousness, your awareness, your multidimensional mind takes over, and you really are standing in front of your angel, and you really are getting a heartburst. And then you notice, oh, wait, my angel has a green dress, not a blue one. Then it starts to morph into something else or not. Oftentimes, higher dimensional beings let us see them however we want. Let us name them however we want. It doesn't matter to them. They are wishing for the connection. So if you need to believe they're 8 feet tall to feel connected to them, go for it. They don't care. They're pure frequency anyway. They're not tall or short. So remember that. It's up to you to create the connection. It is up to you to decide you're feeling that connection. You're experiencing that connection. Maybe even seeing that connection. That's what takes your brain offline and it allows the connection to come in. And that's when you move from brain to multidimensional mind. Now, the client had asked me how to do that. Well, I've got short meditations, little short exercises that I've been posting, some of them clips out of longer podcasts. And I'm sure there are tons more on YouTube from people that say how to meet your guide, visualizations on going here, meeting this person, swimming with dolphins, whatever it is. So you can go through anyone else's guided visualization, or you can grab your cell phone and record your own. Just speak aloud as you take yourself to swim with dolphins or up on a Palladian starship, whatever you'd like. Record yourself and then play that back over and over again until you get there. Because now is the time. It's going to be ebbs and flows, waves, high waves where we're going to be able to connect so easily to our guides, our angels, our dragons. And then the lull between the waves where we're going to feel the intense solar activity and solar light codes and more, and experience all of the ascension symptoms that come with it. And we might just want to crawl right back into that cocoon for a week and sleep. That's okay. Because when we step back out of the cocoon, we've transformed yet again. So waves all year. Do the self-guided visualization. I'll take some time to post some in the future on my YouTube channel. They don't go through the podcast, they just go right to YouTube. So you can try those, but have faith and trust in yourself. Do self-guided visualizations. You all have an imagination. Use that. Picture who you want to connect with, where you want to go, and go there. Create it, just like little kids when they play. And keep telling your brain, it's real. I'm there. I feel them. I see them. And watch yourself open up and connect and start to sense your guides and keep practicing going back there over and over until it becomes easy to have a conversation with them. Practice makes perfect. You'll get to the place I'm at where I just ping them and they show up and we have a conversation. They're sitting with me in my office. Archangel Michael's standing behind me right now because I was working with him earlier. So it will get easier. Focus on self-guided visualizations because now is the time we can really connect in. And the more you connect in, the more you stay in 5D and beyond. And that's what we're aiming for. Happy Ascension, everyone. And if you do want help with this, book a session. I'm happy to take you through the process, introduce you to guides and angels and dragons and whomever else, and take you through a visualization, see if you get the feeling for it so that you can continue on your own. Let me know down in the comments on YouTube if you do bilocate, if you do these visualizations, and if you have any tips for everybody else in the community so that they can achieve the bilocating and meet their posse, their peeps, because it's an incredible experience. Good luck, and I'll be back soon.